be sometime today. There we go. All right, and we are live. Good afternoon, Fallout fans. I hope you are all excited as we are for the news we got in the last night's Bethesda E3 conference. In today's video, we plan on watching the Fallout 76 portion of the conference provided by GameSpot. We're using their channel's video that's linked in the description just below. So if you want to go watch the full video for yourself or follow along, please feel free to click on that link. It'll take you directly to the same video that we're watching. All credit goes to them. With that being said, joining me today for the actual, I guess, reaction / review of what's going on is Nick, Gabby, and Dan. Nick was with us previously. That's Scar. So was Gabby and Dan. That was Tip Your Prism and Debalt. So, they're here as members of the Fallout community to share their thoughts on what's being presented to us. As we move forward, we will be pausing on occasion to discuss what we watched. So just be aware that you can pause with us or just keep watching. That's entirely up to you. Is everybody still here? Everybody's still Gucci?
Yep.
Nick didn't step away to get some pizza this time? Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, so we'll just start off with we'll just start the video here. Do you guys have yours up? I'm gonna start this one out if you guys want to follow along. It's up to you. So.
Excited about everything that we've shown here,
All right, here we go.
But I know there are a lot of you who are really here or really wondering about Fallout 76. And I'm pleased to tell you that your wait is finally over. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the recipient of numerous Lifetime Achievement and Hall of Fame awards. He's the game director at a studio that has won a bevy of accolades and awards. And he's here tonight to tell us what he and his team have been taking so damn long to tell us all about. Will you please welcome my very good friend, Mr. Todd Howard.
We're all here.
You know, I've noticed this man almost
Looking
always
good.
has a leather jacket on.
Oh, it's great to be back at E3. Thank you so much. I could
is
not
true.
be more excited to be here. I want to thank all our fans who came out tonight. And the millions of you watching online. We can't thank you enough. This is actually my 25th year at Bethesda, and I have seen a lot of cool things in that time. I gotta say, tonight is definitely one of them. I got to go to the very first E3 right here in Los Angeles. I know, they're so cute when they're little. They're full of energy and life. And then, remember when little E3 ran away from home, went to Atlanta? Yes, a lot of you didn't come. I liked Atlanta, or East Coast. And then E3 went through the moody teen years and came back and locked itself in its room. Remember, it was in the convention center, but just in the meeting rooms. They didn't invite anybody. And I can remember literally walking between the halls and seeing nobody. I was like, this is how a zombie movie starts. And now E3 has grown up, it's in its 20s, it's more confident, can handle its alcohol better, like all of you. Thank you. So there's a good party after this, so pace yourselves. And I hope you're comfortable, by the way. I'm gonna be here for a while. And E3 has become such an incredible week of entertainment, but we know that most of you came here for one thing.
Todd Howard!
Thank you. think it's to see where we're putting Skyrim next.
Oh, let's get to the Fallout.
Well, I think we have the best one yet.
Patience.
The Elder Scrolls speak of the past and the future. Now, Skyrim looks to the future, to its ultimate version.
This guy's voice, though. The Elder Scrolls speak of the past.
Alexa, play Skyrim.
Oh my god.
You're level 57 and see a tall snowy mountain.
Climate.
Now, Skyrim and life
Climate.
become one.
A mud crab scuttles towards
First
you.
Roda.
I didn't catch that.
First Roda.
I didn't quite catch that.
First Roda.
Your shout echoes all the way to Sovngarde.
What happened?
First Roda. That's the command for knocking things over.
Is there a command for picking shit up?
Haven't reached that level yet.
I'm sworn to carry your burdens.
Ooh.
The dragon unleashes fire breath on you.
Okay.
You have 7% health left.
Oh shit. I drink a health potion.
You are out of health potions.
How many wheels of cheese do I have left?
473.
Okay, I eat all the cheese. I eat all of the cheese.
Eat all the cheese.
Remember what the doctor said about dairy?
Yes. Right, yes, of course. You're the greatest. Thank you so much. I eat all of the cheese.
Introducing Skyrim, very special edition. Also coming soon to Etch-a-Sketch, Motorola Pagers, and your Samsung smart refrigerator.
Isla Noose. Oh, that's cool.
Had to do it. Had to do it.
I'm glad that you.
Okay, really. We both know why you're here, and that's to talk about the next Fallout. Fallout 76 is a prequel to all the other games, and it's our biggest one yet. It
Literally.
is 4 times the size of Fallout 4.
That's a big map.
Set in the hills of West Virginia, you are one of the first to emerge into an untamed and very different wasteland.
Well, Scar, you get your wish. It's over in your neck of the woods. Wouldn't that suck? Like to actually watch ICBMs like strike the ground. That would absolutely suck.
Yeah, I'd probably cry in the process.
I'd embrace sweet death. I wouldn't mind.
Just bring it.
Be like Joe Swanson, let's do it!
After our great nation began, we gathered together to honor the completion of Vault 76. This sprawling underground shelter may have been
Well,
engineered
Ron
by
Perlman's
Vault
talking.
Tech,
I'm hard now.
but it was built by you. So that
His
if
voice
the
in
bombs
Fallout,
do
oh my
come,
God.
our way of life will endure.
Trying to get back on live broadcast.
Almost heaven.
Damn, internet's not working.
Oh,
I'm
no.
missing Ron Perlman's sexy voice. Bothering me.
Life is all there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like the breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong.
That was like a space station.
West Virginia,
Because that's kind of what it looked like. We just kind of get the guy's kneeling next to the T-51 power armor in the
Fighting
ground.
is stopped, and the fallout
Give me a
settle.
time.
You
1821.
must rebuild.
Yeah. In the
Not
video.
just walls,
Uh,
not just
1820.
buildings, but hearts,
Roger.
minds, and ultimately, America itself.
Are we on camps now?
Or not 1820, sorry, 820, not 1820.
In Vault 76,
We're
our
at,
future begins.
like, 8:45.
Gotcha. And we're back to leather jacket.
We are back to leather jacket. Yeah. So I paused there. So one I guess the rumor about it being in West Virginia for sure, that is definitely obviously true. So that's over in your neck of the woods, which is pretty awesome.
Yes.
Yes.
I'd say.
Yes. But I don't know. So I like so here in just a second he's gonna start talking about the performance and capability of the game. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna keep playing for a second. Hold on. I'm gonna get into this point in here just a
Vault
second.
76. One of the very first vaults to open.
And minute are you on?
Right now we're at
Right now, before you
8:55.
start it. 8:55. Wait one. All right, 8:56. That'll do.
That'll
Go ahead,
do.
Start.
Open
Okay.
was built to celebrate America's tercentenary, which is an awesome word, by the way. Like, that's your word of the night.
You can't even
tercentenary.
spell tercentenary.
You are one of the very special few selected to be an occupant.
I know I couldn't.
And spend 25 years underground waiting for Reclamation Day.
It's like
the
a
day
past tense of
the vault
tricentennial,
opens.
I think. Or not past tense.
Oh, okay. That's.
Good morning.
Oh, wow, look at this.
76.
Would,
This is the
would you just look at it?
I hope you all
Just look
enjoyed
at
the party
that.
last night.
Wow.
Even those who may have overindulged
Hey, now
and
that
overslept. But it's time to get up and get out there. We've been locked away long enough.
Oh, dude, the pit boy. There she blows.
Today is Reclamation Day.
yes.
Finally! I feared you'd never wake up. Don't you remember? Time to leave the vault.
Plot twist: Mr. Hansworth starts sawing everybody down.
It may be time to leave, but I'll never forget the day you all entered Vault 76.
You thought you were leaving?
You
Wrong.
come from every walk of life, every race, color, and creed.
It's hard to leave without an Achilles
But you
tendon,
all
Dick.
share one very important trait. You are this country's
Fucking bone
best
fragments just
and
start going
brightest.
everywhere.
But more importantly, you'll always be my family.
Always be my God. I'd be like, okay, and we're leaving.
Auf Wiedersehen.
I like super versed in
just
follow
like home.
lore.
That
I
looks
think
just
everything's
like
really
home.
mellow.
Because that's the color of the Volt colors and the color of
We
Volt.
always start with the world, and
why
this
though?
time
Okay,
it
hold on.
features all new rendering, lighting, and landscape technology. It allows us to have 16 times the detail and even view distant weather systems across the map. Now, most people don't know West Virginia that well. It is an incredible array of natural wonders, towns, and government secrets. This is where the actual nuclear secrets are. And the quest the Overseer sends you on will take you through 6
Look at it.
distinct regions, each with their own
Wow.
style,
Did you
risks,
see it?
and rewards.
Yes.
There's plenty
Yes,
of
I
cool
did.
new Fallout creatures,
It's
and
so
we even
beautiful.
use the folklore of
The
West
clothing
Virginia to bring our Fallout versions to life.
Oh my God, what the hell is that?
Hey, it's Mike.
Oh my God, it's Spiegel. Holy shit.
We have always wanted to tell that story of what it would be like.
Okay, so we're gonna pause here at 12:23. So the thing I was talking about was it's in West Virginia. We're getting greener landscapes, new enemy types. We obviously start in Vault 76 and then move outward from there. and then kind of like what D-Ball was saying in the first video that we did, and Scar, I know you weren't a part of that one, but Gabby was. He was talking about, I wonder what they did to the overall engine, because it looks pretty much the same as Fallout 4, but there's obviously some improvements, and that's what they did. They improved lighting, they improved, what was it? I'm drawing a blank now. It was lighting and 2 other things. Oh, good grief. I know lighting, weather effects, and then one other, I think it was. But, you know, so they did make some improvements. It gives us 16 times the graphical fidelity, the detail that they can get into. Wow. So, wow. So yeah, that's where we saw the difference in that reveal trailer, was the changes and improvements to the engine. Hey, come to think about it, isn't there a lot of nukes? Isn't there a lot of nuke sites in West Virginia? Like actual.
There are actually missile bases and everything. Like, I mean, I know the Air National Guard is pretty huge in West Virginia, as far as I know.
Okay.
And they usually have access to a lot of missile silos and everything like that.
So,
I don't know about them because I don't have a clearance, but I'm sure it would surprise me at the slightest. I'm just the boom guy, just like you.
Right. So so keep that in mind, your knowledge of silos and things inside of West Virginia, because that's gonna come about here in a little bit. So let's see. Where's my button? There's the button.
For you,
okay, we're playing.
And the other characters
again?
who were first to leave the vaults. But there is one big difference with this game. It's that each of those characters is a real person. Because yes, Fallout 76 is entirely online. Okay. I know, there's a lot. You have like 1,000 questions right now. So I'm going to go through them in order. Now, I'll hit a couple of the big ones. First, of course, you can play this solo. All right? You'll be who you want, exploring a huge world, doing quests, experiencing a story, and leveling up. We love those things about our games, too. It would not have it any other way. But also...
Okay, pausing here. Okay, so I want to make sure that I clear something up in case other people haven't seen it yet. There was an interview that Leather Jacket here did with Todd Howard did with the what is his name? He's an E3 commentator. He does interviews with a bunch of the people that do the E3 presentations. Todd Howard was doing an interview with him earlier and actually confirmed that there will be no humanoid NPCs in the game. So no Brotherhood of Steel, no Enclave, nothing like that. There's no...
Wow.
There's no NPCs like that. The only NPCs you're going to find are like the monster type ones. Like that behemoth looking thing. Whatever that thing is. That big sloth thing too. That's the kind of stuff that you're gonna see.
Deathclaw.
Right, Deathclaws will be in there. Yep. I couldn't imagine them keeping up with that forever though, because that would almost mean that there'd be no traders, which I feel like would be dumb. Like, why would you not have? You know what I mean? Like, there would have to be some.
Maybe the scavenging in the game will kind of make it so we don't really need traders. That, like, you get, just like an MMO, you get rare item drops and everything like that. But on top of that, I mean, you could do your trading, I guess, maybe with other NPCs, or other NPCs can open up trading posts.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Or you mean other players, not? You mean other players?
Yeah, other players.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would hope so. I feel like like you said, there's no Okay, the playing solo, right? He said you can play solo. That's something else I want to clarify on. So there are no NPCs, as far as people are concerned, aside from like ghouls and stuff. And you cannot play, there's no single player option. This is something D-Bolt and I were, or Dan and I were talking about a little bit ago. There's petitions going on right now. One notable one that's gaining some traction. But people want them to incorporate a solo-only campaign. So that way people can, You know, like our buddy Austin, for an example, he does not the one that we went to basic with, a different one, AIT rather. But he does not like the idea of a multiplayer in most of these games. I'm pretty sure he's like probably crying himself to sleep right now at the fact that it's gonna have multiplayer. He's not a fan. So I like people like that, they want a single player put in, but I highly doubt that that's gonna happen because just like these guys have said, they wanted to build the game that they wanted to build. This is something that they've wanted to do forever. It would have been in Fallout 4 if they had the means to do so at that time, but they didn't. So this is their chance to try it out. So I don't see any of those petitions working, but no, there is no single player option. You have to play. If you're walking around, the only other human type people you're going to see could shoot you in your dome piece, and that could be a thing. So you might want to get some friends, stop being a loner. I don't know, get on some like looking for group posts.
I mean, I already play this game online, but there's only X amount of people that can be on one raid. I won't get off topic here, but this is just for the sake of like MMO in the game itself.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it's still like Fallout related combat, but I'd like to see how they incorporate the VAT system, or they're going to get completely off of it. But I know in this game I play on the computer, Escape from Tarkov or whatever, it's very hard to see other people. And it's very easy to get ambushed and completely die without even getting into a fight. So I'm kind of curious to see how the hit point system will work. If it's going to be like you can, take a shot to the face and be still good because it's Fallout, or if it's going to be a little bit more brutal.
You're gonna.
You just smack me in the face with a 50 cal. That's
you want
to
talk about brutal? Just wait till we get to the PvP section. You'll see brutal here in a minute. It'll show you, and then it'll answer your question right quick and in a hurry. But yeah, y'all better get some friends and a girlfriend too, probably. But all right.
Whoa. I was personally attacked, sir. I was personally attacked.
Well, I was personally attacking you, so.
No, never mind.
We'll build you a safe space later.
Word. All right, so let's continue forward. So we'll play from here.
Like many of you, we have always wanted to see what our style of game could be with multiplayer. So many of us talk about experiences in our games, but we've never experienced them together. So about 4 years ago, we hit upon an idea that is perfect for Fallout. Open world, survival, every person and character is real. And it was an idea that we just couldn't shake. We knew we had to do it, and do it in a really big way. Now, I know you may have played survival modes in like some of our previous games or some other online games, and people wonder, is this hardcore survival? I like to think of it maybe, it's more softcore survival. Maybe that should be a new ESRB descriptor.
Softcore play.
Oh, here we go.
Death never means the loss of progression or the loss of your character. Your character isn't tied to one server. As a matter of fact, you'll never even see a server when you play. You'll be in a world with dozens, not hundreds and not thousands of other players. It's the apocalypse. It's not an amusement park, okay?
It's not an amusement
park. And you'll be
park.
able to join your friends whenever you want, and all of your progression goes with you.
Okay, so I want to pause there. All right, so he mentions dozens of players, right? Dozens. That'd be plural of the dozens. So he says it's not an amusement park. So if you take let's say dozens times 2, right? And you take that on a map that's 4 times the size, you're looking at like 24 people, 12 to 24 people or however many that are going to be on a map that's 4 times the size of the Fallout 4 map. I wouldn't imagine on a map that large that you're going to run into that many people that often. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like everybody seems to be shitting their pants thinking that this is going to be, a Rust style, you can't go 5 seconds without getting a rock to the side of your dome piece. I feel like that's just not going to be the case here. You know, I feel like, especially if you're running like a group like us, for an example. I mean, you know, SOV, like our crew, you know, for everybody that's going to get the game, I could imagine we're going to be rolling like 8-9 people deep by ourselves. You know, like if you run into a crew that squad, yeah, man, you run into a crew that big, you're not, you know, odds are people aren't going to mess with you anyway, you know. But I don't know. I feel like, and again, with that many people possibly rolling together, trying to get these like clans or tribes or whatever going, and trying to like run servers, I feel like with even those people sticking together in a clustered group, I feel like that's even going to narrow your possibility of seeing a player out in the world even farther down, you know. So it's, yeah, I think everybody that's like shitting their pants thinking, oh, this is going to be horrible, it's going to be griefing all the time, I think they need to cool their jets a wee bit. But yeah, I kind of like the idea of every person, every character is real, but I can also at the same time I can also see like everybody. It's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be like Sea of Thieves. Like in my brain would say, we need to survive. Let's trade with each other, help each other out. You know, of course, there's like that mild tension that there may be a fight at some point. But I feel like they're gonna turn it into like Sea of Thieves, where you know you see a ship and you're like, oh hey, let's go team up, and they're like, haha, we're pirates. I'm gonna sink you. My weenie is big, yours is small. You know what I mean? I feel.
For my dick is big and your penis is small. Have you ever seen that video?
Yeah.
I am strong and mighty and you are weak, peasant.
yeah, the PC Master. It's so funny, dude. Yeah.
A plot twist. What if it's like crossplay between PC and console, and then all the PC Master Race. You PC Master Race, bro? Are you PC Master Race? Die, peasant.
I could see that. Same. All right. Did anybody have any comments on that? So I don't. On the.
I'm good.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Okay, I just don't want to make sure I'm like talking over anybody. So, all right, we'll play from here.
When we think about games, we think about worlds and the choices that you can make, the stories that you create.
All choices are bad.
Tell yourself. By creating a wide open world with very few rules, we have a game.
That's a bad idea.
More than any game that we've ever done, where the choices are yours.
You give people all the choices and none of the rules.
Happens.
That's bad.
You'll decide the heroes, and you'll decide the villains.
Everyone's a villain.
Look, this is a whole new world for all of us here.
Oh, dude, I don't
Unfortunately,
trust.
our friends at Vault-Tec
anybody, I guess,
have made a series of
Survivor at all.
informational videos.
It's gonna turn into one of those games where
all
nobody's
of us
friendly and they just want to kill you and take your
emerge
stuff
together.
or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just hoping they learn from Sea of Thieves mistakes from all.
Brought to you by the Vault-Tec.
As you venture
love these
out into
videos,
this
they're
new
awesome.
American frontier, some of your
Dude,
fellow
they
survivors
look like
may
real
not be
legitimate World War II
neighborly.
propaganda. Ooh, look at this. Look at these environments.
There it is! Oh!
Oh my god! Oh, it's the laser fire! Oh,
Okay, so I have to pause this here. As a side note for myself, the fact that they put in an MG42 in this game excites me greatly. On like a molecular level, I need a towel and a bucket to stave this mess that I'm making in my game room right now. Simply over this one weapon. So the nice thing, what I'm taking away from this, is that we've only really seen 2-3 weapons in this trailer, or in this whole thing, and you guys will see more as we kind of progress forward here. But the fact that they incorporated the MG42, given the time period that this is in, I really hope that they go forward with that and add more period style weapons without turning them into, you know, anything too ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like they put an MG42 in here. I'd like to see an MG3, an actual M1 Garand, a Springfield, you know, an actual Kar98 Mauser. You know, I think it'd be cool to see those kinds of weapons in here, being that it fits that era. You know, it was just shortly after World War II, so those things should be in the game, theoretically, anyway.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the next one is pretty legit.
Yeah. Definitely.
Did we happen to get to the part in where are we on the video, by the way, time wise?
16:27.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So we haven't reached the climactic part.
Nope.
That's a few seconds later.
Yep.
Got it.
So here we go. We're playing. This is that damage I was talking about. You were asking how brutal it's gonna be. How about lose a fucking arm brutal? Execution! Off with your head!
Chin up there, sport. Not all Vault 76 dwellers will be so hostile. Find them and brave the new.
Okay, so I'm gonna pause there.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so that's one thing that I really like. Okay, so the one thing that I was really worried about is players becoming too. I mean, because if you look at your character in Fallout 4, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, right? He's towards the end game, right? And even mid game, he's almost on like god tier strength. You know what I mean? You can damn near one tap any NPC in the game. You can, but then at the same time, you can take just heinous amounts of damage from NPCs. So what I was worried about was that same kind of, damage output to intake ratio, but in a multiplayer standing. I felt like that would make people way too tanky, that it would kind of turn into, the Dark Zone, where everybody's like running around each other, shooting each other, dumping like 6 mags into one guy to kill him. That's being generous, by the way. It takes more like 40 mags, unless you're like ultra god tier stacked and you know like everything about stats in that game, which I don't. So that's probably why it takes me that many mags. Don't judge me. I hate myself. So I guess that's the one thing I was worried about. But watching this part of the video, that kind of like takes that away. I don't think that's really even gonna be a worry here, because evidently he just absolutely like he got them cheeks, man. Like he fucked that guy up with a fucking flintlock pistol.
He's like,
yeah.
Come peasants, we will do pistols at dawn.
he muffed him up, man.
Like, I wonder if it was. I was gonna say, I wonder if it was that bad when, like, our forefathers were duking it out or whatever back in the day, and then they would just like go up to a British soldier and blow off his goddamn arm, and then like, fuck the crowd,
fuck the crowd, and then beat him with his own arm. So
this isn't Gears of War. Hold on.
Word, solid point. All right, we'll keep playing from here. By the way, this is gonna be me when I find my wife in the game.
World together. Whether you choose to explore the wasteland alone or with friends, your days will be filled with fun activities.
Wow.
Yes. When I find the MG42, I'm gonna mainline the shit out of that thing. I will never use anything else. I want to play it tuba. Look at that Gollum looking. Yeah, kick him right in the balls.
Right in the chin.
Right in the chin.
Oh my god! There's a giant otter I get it. It's gonna be so cute and fluffy, and I'm gonna wrap around him like a sloth. Plot twist. He's gonna take me places.
Are you gonna do the? Are you gonna do like the
Why is there sloths in
rapey?
West Virginia?
Are you gonna do like the rapey, like lick his ear kind of deal too? I don't.
I might whisper in his ear.
Maybe his big ass escaped from a zoo, Gab. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe.
That's just weird.
Maybe that was like.
Listen, I don't care where he's from, but he's adorable, and I want him.
God.
He's gonna be like running towards me. Max, I found you, and then he's gonna like eat me alive, and I'm like, why? Why? We could have been so good together.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
That was very graphic.
Yeah, that's really tells the plot. All right, we'll keep playing from here.
Like previous Fallouts, you can play this game solo in Quest. But the easiest way to survive in the Wasteland is to team up and build together.
Wow.
And in this one, you can build wherever you want. And you can also then move that to wherever you want.
After thermonuclear war, man's towering industrial marvels may no longer stretch to the heavens. What separates man from beast? It is his desire to build. Get started with camps.
Wow.
The construction and assembly mobile platform. Construct your home of the future. With your home secure, you can now craft handmade ordnance at your leisure to give your altercations that personal touch. It falls on you and the ingenuity of your fellows to rebuild the America we hold dear.
I feel the propaganda very strongly.
But don't become too attached too quickly. Monitor your environment for anything out of the ordinary. The home of tomorrow may undergo certain challenges. After a crisis, work with your neighbors to ensure success. There's no I in nuclear
Look at that thing.
wasteland.
Why is my sister in this game? I'm just kidding.
Document your adventures. Your memories will shape the new
I wish she was here
dream.
watching this, so then she'd
What's that
get
sound?
salty at me and yell at me in the comments. That'd be really funny. Okay, so I wanna pause here before we get into the next bit. So, all right, so this building thing, right? What I assume is gonna happen is when you leave Vault 76, because it looks like it's still in there, right? What I assume is gonna happen that you're gonna build your before you leave, you're gonna be able to pick up on these camp things. I wonder if you're able to. Obviously, your build space isn't going to be infinite, and I would assume that your building space is going to be moderately limited. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe let's say the four of us are all partied up, right? If all four of us could drop our own individual camps, even though we're all partied up in the same group, and then that way we could expand our territory, or if we could use them like fobs later on. Like, what kind of gives me a boner is the fact that they're giving us artillery. Look, I'm just saying, but I'm gonna need me an artillery fob if we start raiding some fools. All right, because I'm gonna put in some work with them tubes, man. I'm gonna dick them deep. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna turn that shit into a crater.
Break out the Scottish accent. You're gonna be on the front line. I'll break out the Scottish accent. I'll just be like, "All right, boss. What are we doing? You want me to hammer him down?"
Oh my god.
Yes, perfect. I like it.
Give me the order. I'm important.
So that's what I want to know. I want to know if we're able to use more than one, or how big the space is going to be. The other thing I noticed in here too that I like is the ability to have your shit broken. Like for an example, let's say we're raiding somebody's base, right? And we notice that they have a generator of some kind, right? And they have turrets, rocket turrets or whatever, but they're turrets that are required to have power, right? But they only have one generator. If we can shoot that generator and disable it, like, that's going to turn PvP into a whole nother area. That's going to enable you to think tactically on your raids, and I kind of like that. I like that they've incorporated that. I don't know how much damage we will do to structures, but I would imagine that a rocket launcher would do what needed to be done.
We could blow somebody's fucking arm off with a hand cannon.
I mean, you're right.
Be able to do a good bit.
I mean, you're right. That's probably a solid point. But yeah, so that's something that I like, that destructible kind of environment. Yeah, I want to know. I like that you can build wherever, actually, which is kind of nice. But I can already see.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, I like being able to build wherever. That's kind of nice. The one thing, where is it? Oh yeah, that was the one thing. So I want to know how in-depth the survival is, because they allow you to build. So they said that it's a softcore survival game, right? That's like their premise. But I want to know what I want to know how in-depth the survival is, especially being that you're able to build your own stuff, like you build an encampment. I almost wonder if you have to eat and drink and stuff like that, kind of like you did in like Fallout 4 and New Vegas. I kind of wonder if that's going to be a component.
Yeah.
Something totally off topic and girl brain here, but I also noticed that when they were going through the stuff for building, it all looks like pre-bomb. You know, like Fallout 4, you could have stuff that looked like ratty and gross, or you could, you know, have the not gross stuff. I didn't see any, like, ruined furniture kind of stuff for, like, the building.
Well, I would imagine that
there,
there...
but
I would imagine that there would be some, like, nicer and newer stuff. I don't know. That's, yeah, I mean, the building system is... What's that?
I was gonna say, I didn't see any, like...
Well, no, but, I mean, they're not going to show us everything, though.
Well,
I would really...
I mean,
I would...
Fallout 4, going through... Like, I feel like you would have seen some of it. Maybe not.
Yeah.
There is one thing on Gabby's topic of like some like pre-war stuff. I could see that happening just for the fact that it being from a vault. Like for instance, an example, I know that somewhere in Fallout lore, I can't remember what game it was. I think it was called Vault City. It was actually based off of another vault that was made to rebuild, and a lot of the stuff in there was pre-war because of the tech that Vault-Tec had stored up in the vault.
Right. And they
That
took
makes
it
sense.
and they took everything out and then started to rebuild using what they had in the vault. Yeah. Well, and that, I mean, that would, I mean, ultimately any smart person would take advantage of whatever resources you had at your disposal, even the vault itself, But okay, I'll play from here. Let me get into the next point here.
There goes.
Are we on the part with a massive death claw? Because I see a massive death claw.
I think you're like probably way ahead.
What second are you guys on?
20.5.
Oh, okay.
Where are you?
We just passed the death claw, and now we're back with leather jacket.
Okay. Yep.
We love dynamic game systems.
So
we
so
thought,
20.5.
why don't we put multiple
playing
nuclear
right now.
missile sites on the
Stop
map?
there. Oh, you're still playing?
Yep. We're like 2020 now.
And then let
Gotcha.
all of you do whatever you want with them.
Today's episode, Atomics for Peace. When you emerge from the comfort and safety of your vault, the world you know will have changed. Take your friendly old neighbor, Johnny. Rather than coming over to borrow a cup of sugar, he may now be coming over for murder. The time has come to seek out greater
Damn you,
means
Johnny,
of
I always
protection.
interrupt it, no good.
Nuclear armaments. That's right. Courtesy of your Uncle Sam, these
Fucking
wonders
nuke
of
Johnny.
the
Okay.
Why not?
Remember I was talking about weapons, new weapons. If you notice the guy, obviously the guy on the far left here, if you pause by the power armor, the guy on the far left has a 50 cal. He's holding on to a Browning M250. And it looks like the guy just next to him kind of has some kind of heavy gamma weapon. But that guy's wearing like a new power armor. It kind of looks like a construction suit kind of deal. It's yellow and has black and yellow stripies.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah,
It
it's
seems
kind of
improvised almost.
Kinda, yeah, almost like a raider kind of deal, but not quite because there's no raiders, sadly. Yeah. Okay.
That's one thing I was talking about with someone earlier. They're like, good.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna hit play here. So we're at 2059.
atomic age can be found right in your own backyard. But how does a fella like you acquire nuclear weapons, you may ask? Begin by inquiring with the locals. Gently coax them into cooperation. Use a little elbow grease if you have to. In the
Elbow
likely
grease.
event you don't acquire a full code
Sick
on your own, do not give up. Search for others who might be harboring a grudge. You'll have that nuclear launch code in no time. With the power of the atom at your fingertips, be responsible and consider your target
Watch the kill radius in this thing. Look at that. This is insane.
Activated.
Let's take a gander. Oh wow, that's pretty good.
I mean, watch what this thing does, dude. Like, that's massive. Absolutely
Will your
devastating.
bomb land on a rival camp of degenerates? A random
Oh,
stranger?
makes you wonder
The
if
local
our-
wildlife?
Hold on. Sorry. Okay, I'll pause this. Sorry, everybody was talking. What? All right, not.
I wonder if our build area really is going to be that small. I mean, if these nukes can destroy that much space.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's a good point because they've got one hell of a blast radius.
It'd be, dude, we can make our own Cold War in the mountains of West Virginia.
I'll nuke you if you nuke me.
You won't do it. You won't do it.
No balls, bitch. I bet you won't.
It seems like there's gonna be no getting away from them, though.
Well, okay, so if
It'd be
you
hard to get away from it unless you knew the nuke was coming.
you'd have to have like an advance warning, that's for sure. Well, if you noticed, all the players there were all like above level 50, so I would assume that would be like an end game kind of deal. Like they were all higher tier characters. It looked like,
I hope not, because if you get that high, you can just bully other people and be like, yo, listen, you guys can exist in this camp over here, but the thing is, I'm gonna nuke you guys if I don't like something that you're doing.
The thing is,
dude, you could go full Negan at that point.
you could definitely Negan the shit out of somebody. You could be like, give me all of the things, or I'm gonna destroy all of the things.
Just
Yeah.
never go full Negan.
That's another thing I was wondering is, will you be able to actually like loot people and all that? So theoretically, if you could manage to raid them, you could steal the code from them, and basically take out that blue with the nuke.
I would assume so.
That would work.
I feel like the PvP would be really super gay if you couldn't loot shit off of people, you know. I mean, I would.
And then possibly like loot people's
Especially with
storage
no-
bins and all that in their bases.
Right. Yeah, I would.
With no setup trading.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, I would really hope that there'd be some kind of looting. So my only so this nuke. Well, here, let me play this. I'm gonna finish this one out. And then,
Whatever your target may be, take advantage of the resulting fallout to gather rare and valuable resources.
Oh wow, it changed the terrain and everything.
Yet these rewards
Oh, rip the
don't
butt.
come without risk.
And he's into it now.
The fate of this new
Won't use the
world
puzzle.
is yours to command with the power of the atom.
okay, so I'm gonna pause that there at 22:43. Okay, so on the topic of nukes, right? I think my biggest concern is the griefing. I feel like that's. I mean, evidently, in my mind's eye, it would only make sense for this kind of deal to work if you had to be a higher level, right? I don't think a couple level 10s could do this. Maybe they could if they were super high speed, you know, or had enough people to do it. But personally, I'm kind of worried of griefing. You know, I think that could be a serious problem. But that's just me. Because that's pretty devastating. I mean, if it can wipe out an entire town, you know, an entire actual in-game city, and that's the other thing too. Like nobody, unless you run your own server and have rules against it, nobody's gonna you're not gonna be able to see any of these cities and towns as they were before, because everyone's gonna blow them to Kingdom Come before you can even get a chance to look at them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, as you noticed, the city was fine before the ICBM hit it. Once that ICBM struck ground, it devastated the area, you know, and then filled it full of baddies. So, I don't know. I can kind of see that a problem. But the one good thing, though, is like he said, it's going to give you rare resources, and I think he said rare resources and loot. So, maybe that's where you get those higher tier weapons and armor and stuff. Is from doing. I mean,
It'll be just like Chernobyl. Go
right.
and get artifacts. You
Yeah.
want to get the artifacts to make yourself powerful.
Right. Or rip your suit and then get killed by your butt.
Death by butt.
Right.
I am Cornholio.
Jesus Christ.
Oh God.
You need patch for your bungholio?
One thing I did notice, it seems like they're going to make it a little bit harder a bit harder to actually get the nukes though, because it said it's very if you were listening, it said it was very unlikely that you would be able to get all the nuclear codes on your own.
Right, you'd have
So
to
it
find
might
other
just about
people.
I don't think
require
it's
you to have
possible at
multiple
all.
people.
Well, I'm sure with enough grinding, someone will
It
do it.
sounded like it wasn't possible.
I mean, unless they made the art, which with a game like this, the RNG would have to be on point. Like they're not gonna. I feel like it's not gonna be, one person has this key, so that way that person can't get any more keys. I feel like that would severely screw over the single players, So I mean, I wouldn't say that it would be impossible, because that would alienate an entire section of their player base. I think it would be entirely possible. I think it would just take a lot of grinding. Oh god, I love when you eat in my ear. It sounds so awesome.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to eat in your ear.
So,
Because if they do,
go ahead.
Some Korean beef
if they do this
barbecue.
if they do this an RNG thing, then I could see it. What they're talking about, with it being a lot more likely that you'll get with 4 or 5 people, because then that's 4 or 5 people's RNG going at once. It's not just a one person.
Right, everyone
So
would
it'll
have
probably
separate loot
increase the
table.
drop rate.
Yeah, I could see that. All right, I'm gonna play from here unless anyone has anything else.
I'm good.
Okay.
We know you've played a lot of our games and a lot of online games, but this one really is unique. We have built a platform, 100% dedicated servers
Dedicated
that will
servers,
support
he said.
this game now and for years to come. And look, we know this is new for all of you. It's new for us. It's a little bit scary. And to that end, we're going to need your help. Because yes, we are going to
pause
have...
it here. Okay, so I'm gonna pause it there at 23:23. So before we get into the beta, so he says 100% dedicated servers. So what I see from that is it's going to be a lot different than games like State of Decay, right? Remember in the previous one we were saying if there's going to be multiplayer, we would like it to be on the State of Decay range, where people can drop in, drop out. So it's not going to be. This is going to be a much better option, because the way that State of Decay runs it, they have it so that way if I'm the host of the server, right? If my internet's hot, if I'm running my shit off a potato, then you guys aren't going to be able to connect to me. You're going to have really crappy latency. There's going to be performance problems. But with 100% dedicated servers on their end, then the issue is just, can your internet keep up? If you've got decent internet, decent bandwidth, then you're not streaming like donkey porn, Netflix, Hulu, and trying to play the game.
Stop trying to steal Taco Bell's internet. That's
right. Yeah. No. Get off that Walmart Wi-Fi. You'd be alright. Get on that fiber optic, baby. So, yeah. So I mean, they're going to do 100% dedicated servers. So, and I wanted to touch on a bunch of people were in the forum saying, okay, well, dedicated servers, great. We're not going to be able to have our own. But he did confirm earlier in that same interview that I was talking about, he did confirm that there will be dedicated servers that players can rent, so we can have our own servers. With that, there will also be modding implemented with those servers, which is awesome. So there's going to be mods, but that's not going to be at launch. It's not going to be at launch. At launch, they want to just focus on making the game stable and making sure that everything works properly. And then past that point, they want to integrate the ability to have your own servers, which that might be there right off the bat, right off the get-go. They don't know that yet. He didn't confirm or deny whether it would be. Yeah, I don't know. I'm jaded with it. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. I would rather have my own server right off the bat, so I can kind of control the influx of who comes in and who, doesn't. But at the same time, mildly, yes. But at the same time, I like the idea of not knowing who the fuck's around. I kind of like that idea at the same time too. So it's it's kind of a catch-22. But like I said, there will be mods still possible, and we will be able to have our own servers. But that's just like a matter of time. And then as my own wait. Do you don't still play DayZ, right? You're done with that.
Who, me?
Nick, yeah. You haven't played DayZ in a hot minute,
Oh,
right?
dude, listen. I'm gonna tell you right now about DayZ, so we'll bring that up. DayZ died. The developers abandoned it and altogether, and they were trying to improve some things that they shouldn't have. Instead of increasing gameplay, server issues, all that other stuff, they just added more skins, like different items.
Right.
Just stupid stuff.
Well, yeah, but
abandoned it completely.
another developer though picked it up though, because they're trying to make a DayZ platform for console. Somebody else picked up DayZ. Did you know that?
Dude, it's gonna be like yeah, that's great, and that's unfortunate actually, because even if they bring it to console, dude, they need to focus on first stabilizing it on PC, because it's not even stable on PC, and it.
Right.
I mean, we're getting a little off topic here, but I'm just gonna say this. That's why I enjoy Escape from Tarkov. The only bad thing about Escape from Tarkov is server balancing issues, desynchronization, and the giant hacker problem. Other than that, Escape from Tarkov is everything DayZ should have been, and it's a lot better. And there's just so many way better games than DayZ. DayZ is just a hot, steaming pile of failed garbage.
Hey, whoever
all the money that's gonna make.
If a developer of Escape from Tarkov ever watches this, make sure you hit up Nick here. What?
Exactly.
Hit him up. He could use a advertised deal. So
exactly.
So anyway, with that game, what I wanted to get into before somebody went off on a tangent was the. Oh, I just messed that up. Hard. So the with that game, you have what was it? When you go to join a server, there can be mods, and you have to actually go in and download those mods, and you have to have that same checklist before you can before you can actually join that server. You've seen that, haven't you, on DayZ? You know what I'm talking about?
All right, sorry, I was messing with something. Reiterate that again.
On DayZ, you have to, if you want to join a server, right, like an Epoch server, you have to download whatever mods are affiliated with that server before you can just join that server. I could imagine that that's kind of how it's gonna go. I could imagine that that's the same way that this is gonna go. Is that if you run your own server or whatever, that you would have to just download whatever mods are affiliated with that server. So.
Yep, absolutely.
I messed up here, and I hit B
Pain in the butt.
on my stupid controller, and clicked out of the video that we were on, and my thing automatically signed me out of YouTube on my console here. So this is great. This is lovely for the live stream.
There we go.
I know. So, and I can't find it. What is it called?
Search Fallout 76, but
wait one.
Just search
I got
Fallout
you.
76.
It's in the comments.
Conference. It should be one of the first ones.
Oh shit! Can't do web addresses.
Hold on, just wait.
To you via.
It's got to be. It's got to be on the Xbox guy. I got it. It's right here.
Well.
We are on 23/23. Last I heard.
So exciting.
We're watching a BMO Harris Bank thing. The gift of getting out of my inbox, guy. So anyway, we're gonna skip forward here. What were we talking about there? Oh yeah, mods with that stuff. So that's gonna be a thing. That's got to be a thing. I really hope they allow mods in there, because at some point, at least like a month or two out, maybe 3. After they make the game stable, because I want to be able to mod the stuff. Especially for like workshop mods. I think that's really what I care most about, is workshop mods. I wouldn't want to add a bunch of stuff that would possibly break the game. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make it a bit more fortified and all that.
Right, yeah, or add like stuff, so you can have like military vehicles or not vehicles, but
and a lot of online games.
Stuff like that. I want to be able to do that kind of stuff. Adding
some mods to make me look even more super duper operator.
Hey, that'd be nice. Yes, I would also. What? Go ahead.
My question is, what kind of mods are they going to allow?
Probably nothing that would be game breaking.
Because
I wouldn't imagine that they would add
Like nothing that would alter anything. Probably, for most part, I'd see just like skins and stuff like that.
D-ball. You want to see big ass titties, don't you?
This guy spends too much time watching XMR mods.
You want those? You want those BNB mods, don't you?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. All right, we'll play from here.
All right.
But this one really is unique. We have built a platform, 100% dedicated servers that will support this game now and for years to come. And look, we know this is new for all of you. It's new for us. It's a little bit scary. And to that end, we're going to need your help. Because yes, we are going to have a beta.
A beta. Break all of the things.
And it is sponsored by our friends at Vault-Tec as well. The Break It Early test application. Because evidently, these online games are hard. They can have some nasty issues. I read on the internet that our games have had a few bugs. I did. I read it on the internet, so it's true. And that sometimes it doesn't just work.
Joke's on you, leather jacket. It always
anyway,
works.
We know together that we are going to build something really special. And we also know that all of you love our special editions. And we have an awesome collector's edition for you. It starts with a map of the world that glows in the fucking dark.
Hey, you can't say that.
It's
Bad word.
So cool.
What, special edition?
It comes with figures you can put on the map. And it also comes with a Fallout collectible that really I've always wanted, so we made them for everybody to buy.
Looks like that Superman's trying to take a poop.
Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and fly right. Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top. Ain't no use in diving. What's the use of diving? Cool down, Papa, don't you blow your top.
Yes, all of this, the Fallout 76 Power Armor Edition. So you're probably wondering, when is this game coming out?
Somebody get a drum roll.
We're excited to say that it's coming out this year, November 4th.
Yeet.
Thanks again for all your support
like 5 months
of Fallout. It's been 10
All right,
years
so I'm gonna pause it here.
since Fallout 3.
Because that's pretty much it. Then he's gonna talk. He's gonna go into stuff about Fallout Shelter, coming to this, that, and the other, and some other things. So I'm really upset. I wanted to buy that. It's like $200, but they sold out in the first hour. It's insane. They put another 7,000 out at GameStop, at my local GameStop. They said, or sorry, they put another 7,000 out total that GameStop can order from their warehouse or shipping, and they said that they wouldn't expect them to last another day and a half, which is really upsetting because I only have $100 in my bank account, and I'm getting paid on Thursday, so it's like so close I can feel it, like I could literally, like I could smell the helmet, but I can't so that's really upsetting. I'm probably gonna cry myself to sleep. Like I have the Pip-Boy and I got all this other stuff, but I'm not gonna have a helmet. That's gonna make me really upset. My wife's probably gonna laugh at me and call me an idiot, but I'm used to that. Just kidding. I love you. So she did say that I could get it. Actually, I didn't even have to beg. She said I could has. So
that's what I'm talking about.
I know. It's kind of a big deal. So the beta. So that's the one thing with the what do you call it? With that, I don't know what is going to qualify you for the beta as far as your pre-order purchases, but I do know that $200 purchase gets you qualify to get in for the beta itself. So if anybody happens to have $200, buy me one.
So $200 later.
Word, yeah, no, for sure. I really wanted to say I could do an unboxing on it. People seem to like that last unboxing for the Pip-Boy Fallout Pip-Boy edition that I did. People seem to like that one. That had a lot of views. So, but anyway, so this is, I guess I have a list of questions that I have and issues that I see as we go forward. There's obviously no NPCs. So I want to know where the hell are the NPC factions, right? Like where the hell's the Brotherhood of Steel? Why is there no, like there's quests and stuff, but apparently you only get the quests from the Overseer. Where's the Brotherhood of Steel? Where's the Enclave? Where are the remnants from the, the previous governments, government agencies that were already established? It's only 25 years after, for Pete's sake, Just like Mike mentioned in the very first video.
Cool.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say it'd be cool if you created them, some of them, by playing the game in certain ways.
Yeah.
I mean, not really, but.
Oh no, we definitely could, and that'd be.
Discover them.
That would.
Create them, but you can discover them.
Oh, I was gonna say we could create them like what's his name over here, Nicky Poo was saying. We'd just go full Negan. Be like, we're gonna nuke your shit unless you give me all of your things. That could be a thing, but yeah, I want to know why they went this route, because it wouldn't be too difficult. If anything, make all the NPCs essential. If you didn't want people to fight the NPCs outside of, like Raiders or the Gunners or whatever, those hostile factions, make the NPCs essential so they can't die and they can't attack or be attacked. Put them in a neutral area.
Respawnable?
Or respawnable, yeah, but then I could see some kind of exploit being done to maybe take their inventories or something, especially on PC.
Spawn at a different location.
Oh, that would be gay. Then if you kill them, are you talking about wandering traders kind of thing?
Sure.
Well, because if you had let's say
not entire factions. If you wipe a faction's influence out from a location, then
they should be
just
gone.
Like the apocalypse, they're gone forever.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm talking about non-hostile, just traders and people to get quests from in general. You're like raiders and stuff like that I could see, but, I feel like they really should have not went the no NPCs route. I think that was kind of silly. Where the hell are all the people?
5 months, man. A lot could change.
That's a solid point. There's a lot that could change in 5 months. They could certainly add them, and I really kind of hope they do, because I think it's dumb not to have them in there.
Yeah.
That's just me.
I am confused about one thing. When they killed the guy earlier in the conference, and they showed the one guy die, it showed that you got caps from it.
Yeah.
So you're going to be able to use caps for something. So I'm wondering if, in the vault, there's going to be a reward system or something, or maybe there'll be one NPC in there you can trade with.
Mm-hmm.
But.
Yeah, well, and that's
interesting way to do it.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. What are the caps used for, aside from we saw him pay a little bit to put that campsite down? But aside from that, what are the caps going to be used for? If there's no NPCs, if there's no NPCs, you can't buy anything from people, right? I could see maybe trading caps with other players, but I don't know what the caps would be used for, because it didn't look like it cost a whole lot to drop a campsite down in the first place. So yeah, that's a really good question. What is the currency going to be used for? That's just something else that we're going to have to figure out in the months to come, I suppose. One other thing, Scar, earlier, remember you were talking about VATS in that interview that he did.
Mm-hmm.
VATS will be a thing in this, even though there is PvP, but it's not going to slow down time. It's going to be a VATS in real time, or at least currently as it stands, it's going to be VATS in real time. So you can actually train your person in perception, I think it is. Is it perception, or is it perception that increases your VATS hit chance?
Yes.
I think.
I want to say so, yes.
Okay, so you can train your perception to increase the likelihood that you would smack a dude in the dome piece when you're shooting at him. But yeah, I don't personally see me ever using VATS. I don't use VATS. I think that would make it
Yeah, what do you
less
what are you,
effective.
some kind of aim assist bitch?
I don't have aim assist, guy. I'm gonna use that MG42. I'm gonna hit all the things.
Screw you and about anything around you in your general direction.
Exactly. So and that's the other thing I wanted to know with how the building and crafting system was going to work. That kind of goes into the how the currency system is going to work. That's another big question I have, because it looks like, you know, you have to gather materials just like in Fallout 4, but you only have so much weight, and if you don't have, like, that's why I kind of wonder if you can have multiple camps at once, because I feel like if you only had, like, there's no way you're going to carry all your weapons, ammunition, food, medical supplies, yada, 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 not have any followers, you know, and go set up a thing somewhere, you know? And then if you go to tear down that camp, is all those items just put directly into that camp box, or are those items put in your inventory? That's another question I had. I don't know. I feel like it would probably
find out, I'm sure.
Yeah, I feel like it would probably go in the camp box. Otherwise, I don't know how you'd ever move. You have to be one strong son of a bitch.
Well, one thing I'm wondering is maybe they might add something almost like backpacks, and what they might do with that is make it so like the size of the backpack increases your carry weight by a certain amount.
Well, if you noticed
I can see them doing that.
In like several of the clips there, people were carrying backpacks. They did have bags on, so that's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I still want to know how in-depth the survival is. I guess for me, my last thought is that nukes sound cool, but GTA 5 orbital cannon. That's the only thing that comes to mind. You're gonna be wiping people's shit all the time. I can see some 12-year-old telling me that he screwed my mom and then blowing up my base. You know, I fucked your mom. That would be a thing.
Oh, you stupid 12-year-old son of a bitch! I'm coming for your ass.
You look at this dick. Oh!
I don't have enough to do.
I didn't mean any harm. Bullshit. You tried to blow up my house, now I'm gonna blow up your prostate. Oh!
Oh my god. I don't care if you're not 18 yet.
Oh man, that's scary. Rapey. Okay, so
hey, you're gonna upset it.
She is. So, I guess, does anybody else have any final points, or do you guys have any other issues that you can see going on?
Anybody on the chat have any questions? Or ideas?
One thing I will bring up is a lot of people were bringing up the topic of grafers. A lot of people have been. And they're wondering what Bethesda's going to do about it. So we were talking about how you can rent your own server, but a lot of people are wanting to be able to sort of have their own off server experience, just that way they won't have to worry about griefers if they do want to play on their own.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say it's a completely different game. Just don't buy the game if you don't want it. Stop trying to petition the game over it. If you don't want that, don't buy it.
Right.
But
yeah, I feel like they should offer. I don't know. That's tough, because you're asking a developer to do twice the amount of work that they've already done. You know, so yeah, that's a kind of a.
Or maybe do. But maybe do something like what Ark does with how they have to host non-dedicated servers, how you can host a local non-dedicated thing.
Mm-hmm. But just for you.
So well.
No, he's.
If you don't like something.
Go ahead.
Oh, all right. So I was gonna say, if you don't really like something about the game or whatever, be a progressive American and boycott it, and let us all enjoy bitching about whatever it is, but still playing the game, because we can, get over something little in something
like
to enjoy
adults.
a bigger picture of a game. Yeah, like adults.
Like adults.
Exactly.
But make sure.
I'm not gonna buy it until. Yeah, go ahead.
But make sure when you do that, when you act like the progressive adult like most people are, make sure that you get super fat, color your hair blue or in rainbow colors, and you must identify as something other than what your given thing is. Otherwise, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. Don't let us down.
Exactly.
Don't let us down. Okay?
Absolutely. 110% agree.
Right. Gab, do you
Might as well
have...
go all the way if you're gonna bitch.
That's what I'm saying. If you're gonna bitch out, if you're gonna bitch out on it, you might as well ride her deep, you know. Gab, do you have anything that you wanted to put forward? You've been kind of quiet most of this time, so.
I've been listening.
You've been putting in.
You guys.
You've been putting out.
Oh, I don't know why I'm laughing at that so hard.
Thanks, Battle.
Talking about being adults, you guys are such children.
Yeah.
Oh, stop! It was funny.
Do you have any input though? Anything you'd like to add before we?
No, I don't think so. I think I asked all my stupid questions and.
Yeah. Overall, I guess. Let's go individually here, starting with, let's just say D-Bolt, I guess. Or, you know what? I'm going to not be misogynistic. Gabby, you get to go first, because you're a strong, independent white woman. You don't need no man. So, do you...
What am I going first for?
Are you excited for the game? Do you hold reservations? Are you, like, what are your...
I mean, I'm really excited for the game. I'm curious, like, all of the questions that we've asked that haven't been answered yet, I'm really kind of nervous and also excited and anticipation with how, like, the multiplayer and all that stuff's all going to pan out.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really excited for, like, I think the building is going to be awesome, because I really like building in Fallout 4, but
Right.
it's so limited. And it
Yeah.
sounds like this is going to be much more in-depth, which is awesome.
Right.
But yeah, I guess I want to hear more, because I feel like there's still a lot of unanswered questions, even though they did like this whole presentation. I feel like there's still a lot that could be answered.
Yeah, I think they just touched the surface. Nick, what about you?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet to the point. I'm really excited for it, and I want to be able. I will start a petition actually right now. Right now, we're gonna start the idea. I want a sloth. I want that giant mutant sloth, and I want to be able to wrap my arms around him and whisper sweet nothings in his ear, and then watch him eat my enemies right in front of my eyes, and then pat him on the head like a good boy that he is. I want it, and I need it. I crave it.
Okay. All right.
All right. Scar's gonna
The
find
new
the
dog
escaped sloth from the zoo. That's all his
Exactly.
gameplay is gonna consist of.
So.
You guys are gonna knock it now, but then you guys are gonna come like calling, Scar, we need your sloth. Blaring America, fuck it. Hold up MG42 on the back of a sloth, stacking bodies like nobody's business.
Wow. D-Bolt, what about you? What are you excited? Not so much so.
Honestly, I'm just laughing from that. Honestly, I'm way more excited than not. Just for the fact I'm okay with a game that you run around and there's pretty much all the human NPCs are people. I actually like that, and if it's a good server and it's like an owned server, you can set up an RP server, which that would add a cool twist to it if you did have sort of like an RP style one. And also touching on one of Gabby's subjects for like the whole building thing, they did say one thing in one of the trailers, and they said don't get too attached to your building.
Right.
Which is telling me that we might have a much higher risk of stuff like being destroyed and being gone than something you'd see in Fallout 4, where it's like pretty much permanent. The most they can destroy is like a generator and a turret.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the destructible environment is definitely there. I mean, you could wipe out an entire town for the love of all that's holy. I mean, yeah, I definitely... Yeah, the building aspect really kind of gives me a bit of a boner.
kind of sounded like the creatures. Well, it looked like the creatures can also destroy your shit.
Yeah, I mean, just that dragon bat thingy alone, like, you know, one shot it looked like blew up the Jenny, you know, or the wind turbine. So, yeah, I could definitely see that being a thing. I'm pretty excited for that myself. That kind of then you're, you know, unlike Fallout 4, then you have to actually build defenses. You know, you want to erect a wall. You know, you don't want to just like put all your shit out, you know, in the open, you know, because people are going to be able to fuck it up, you know. I'm in the same boat as you guys. I really like that personally, and that's where I think people that have any idea of how like FOBs are made, you know, I think they're gonna have one step ahead of, you know, especially the PvP aspect. They're gonna be one step ahead of everybody else. Like if you have any inkling of how a military structure of any kind is made, as far as defenses are concerned, I think they're definitely gonna have a one-up, a step up, an advantage, you know, over those who, you know, just build big poopy boxes out in the middle of the open because it's flat and pretty, you know, or flat and ugly, actually. But, yeah, that's just me. Anything else from you three?
Yeah, another thing with, like, creatures attacking the base. I wonder if they're going to do something sort of like what they did with the Raiders and all that in Fallout 4, like, the more resources and stuff you get there, and the less defenses you have, the more chance you have, like, of a raider attacking you. So I'm curious if they'll have a mechanic in it where it's, like, the more, like, either stuff or noise or food you have at your base will increase the chance of creatures attacking you or decrease it, stuff like that.
I would imagine so. I mean, that would make sense to me. The more influence your area has, the bigger and the better it gets. I would assume the more attention it's going to draw. So, yeah, I mean, that would make sense to me.
You would think.
Yeah, that would, yeah. So this is the...
I hope they do it that way.
I think the only real issue that I see here, the biggest thing, is if you want to play alone, I think it's still online, right? So there's no way to go offline. If you want to play alone, you're kind of fucked. Because it's almost like playing in the DZ on the Division. You know, if you take your ass out in the DZ solo... Unless you're one of them god tier players that literally don't leave their parents' basement and they just sit there and grind out gear for like 19 out of 24 hours out of a day, you're not gonna survive. You know, you're gonna get your dick kicked in like a lot. So especially by those bigger groups, you know. So it's I feel like that's like my only issue. I think I personally don't care because we got a pretty big group, pretty big squad, so I'm not worried. But I fear for the little man.
Don't roll deep.
Don't roll deep
up in that
Teach
ass.
you how to spell long dick. So.
All right.
But yeah.
I'm
gonna go take a shower.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us, Nick. Yeah, my final thing is the game. We got like 5 months before it's released, so for those of you who see this video whatnot, or see future content coming out as it gets released, look at it with a grain of salt because things can change drastically in those 5 months. So Scar, you can bail out if you need to, man. So with that,
good because I smell awful after the gym. Thank you.
Nice.
Everybody have a good evening.
See you, bro.
All right. So with that being said, we're going to end the live stream right here. So thank you very much to everybody who watched or is still watching. We want to thank GameSpot for allowing us to use the video. We did link them in the description below, so make sure you guys check that out, as well as like the video if you like what we are doing here. Subscribe. There's going to be much more content on Fallout 76 to come. And click the bell notification for sure, so then you never miss a video. If you guys have any comments, questions, concerns at all, leave them down below. And as always, thanks for stopping in. We'll see you in the next video. Peace out.